In 1942, just weeks after Pearl Harbor, the United States did something it has almost never done before. It opened fire on its own skies. For over an hour, Los Angeles was under a full blackout as more than 1,000 anti-aircraft shells were launched at an unidentified object hovering above the city. No enemy aircraft were found. No wreckage ever recovered. And whatever it was, it didn't go down. Welcome to They Are Watching Us. In the early hours of February 25, 1942, just 2 months after the Pearl Harbor attack, Los Angeles became the focus of a significant incident in American military history, known as the Battle of Los Angeles. During this event, anti-aircraft fire was directed at unidentified objects in the sky above the city for several hours. At the time, the United States was on extreme high alert. Fear of a Japanese follow-up attack on the West Coast was widespread, and coastal defenses had been placed under constant readiness. The previous night, February 24th, coastal radar contacts and sightings of flares off the Pacific coast prompted a blackout order across Los Angeles County. Shortly after 2:25 a.m., air raid sirens sounded across the city. The blackout went into full effect, plunging Los Angeles into darkness. Residents were ordered to remain indoors as military spotters reported an unidentified aerial presence approaching from the ocean. Around 3:16 a.m., U.S. Army Coast Artillery units began firing anti-aircraft shells into the sky. Over the next hour, more than 1,400 rounds of anti-aircraft ammunition were discharged over Los Angeles and surrounding areas. Multiple eyewitnesses, including civilians, police officers, and military personnel, reported seeing a large, slow-moving object illuminated by searchlights. Contemporary descriptions often refer to something metallic, cigar-shaped, or disc-like, moving steadily and apparently unaffected by the barrage. One of the most famous images from the incident, published in the Los Angeles Times, shows converging searchlight beams fixed on a single bright object in the sky, while flak bursts explode around it. The photograph has since become one of the most iconic images in UFO history. Despite the intense bombardment, no aircraft debris was recovered. No confirmed enemy planes were shot down, and no Japanese aircraft were ever documented as being present over Los Angeles that night. The fight wasn't just about the enemy shooting at us. We had some serious damage happening from those anti-aircraft shells coming down. It was chaos. Buildings got wrecked, fires started popping up everywhere, and sadly, we lost at least 5 civilians. Some folks just couldn't handle the stress and had heart attacks, while others got hit by shrapnel. It was a rough time, for sure. By 7:21 a.m., the all-clear was sounded. The object, or objects, had vanished. Los Angeles awoke to shell fragments littering the streets and unanswered questions hanging in the air. At first, the military had some pretty mixed messages about what went down. Like, Secretary of the Navy, Frank Knox, even held a press conference saying it was just a false alarm. He was like, hey, it could have been weather balloons or some random flares messing things up. So, yeah, not super clear, right? Just goes to show how things can get a little messy when trying to figure out what's really happening. This explanation was immediately challenged. Army officials later suggested the possibility of enemy reconnaissance balloons, while others blamed meteorological flares. No single explanation was officially agreed upon at the time. Japanese records examined after the war showed no evidence of any aircraft operating over Los Angeles on February 24th to 25th. This eliminated the most feared explanation and deepened the mystery. In 1983, decades after the incident, the U.S. Office of Air Force History examined the event. They concluded that it was likely caused by a lost weather balloon, potentially released by the military. However, This explanation does not account for several documented details: the length of the engagement, the reported size of the object, its steady movement, or its apparent invulnerability to sustained anti-aircraft fire. A bunch of folks saw this thing, right? They all said it was moving way too slow and smooth to be just a balloon. And get this, it was lit up and hanging out there, not moving, even when they were shooting at it. That totally goes against how balloons usually act. Wild, right? Additionally, weather balloons of the era were fragile and unlikely to survive direct hits from exploding anti-aircraft shells. Yet no debris ever fell from the object. This moment is pretty wild in military history. It's one of those rare times when the continental US actually went after an unknown flying object using live artillery fire. It's like something straight out of a movie. It's still officially a mystery. Can you believe it? Like, seriously. There are some boring explanations out there, but none of them really cover all the crazy stuff that happened. Eyewitness accounts, photos, you name it. It's wild. So, yeah, it's one of those things that just leaves you scratching your head. What's your take on it? Let me know in the comments. Within the UFO and disclosure community, the Battle of Los Angeles is frequently cited as early evidence of non-human technology monitoring Earth, even during moments of global crisis. Pro-extraterrestrial researchers argue that the object's behavior, slow, controlled movement, and immunity to weaponry aligns with later UFO encounters. So, you know how pop culture loves to take inspiration from real-life events. Well, this one's no different. It's popped up in movies, books, documentaries, and even that sci-fi flick from 2011, Battle Los Angeles. Pretty wild, right? And let's not forget about that famous searchlight photo. It's like the go-to image whenever UFOs come up in discussions. Just goes to show how much this event has influenced the scene. Here are some fun facts about the battle over Los Angeles. Anti-aircraft shells used were capable of reaching 30,000 feet. The Los Angeles Times photograph was later retouched for clarity, but not fabricated. The event is one of the earliest cases studied by Project Blue Book historians. No pilot, wreckage, or foreign equipment was ever linked to the incident. What happened over Los Angeles in 1942 was not rumor, myth, or hysteria alone. It was a documented military response to something in the sky that could not be identified, could not be brought down, and was never fully explained. Thousands of shells were fired, searchlights locked onto a solid object, and yet nothing fell from the heavens. No enemy aircraft, no wreckage, no definitive answers. Decades later, official explanations remain incomplete, and the event stands as one of the few times in history when a major city became the stage for an open confrontation with the unknown. For those willing to look beyond convenient explanations, the Battle of Los Angeles feels less like a mistake and more like a glimpse, an early warning that we are not alone in our skies, and perhaps never have been. Whether it was advanced technology, not of this world, or something we still don't understand, the silence that followed speaks louder than any denial. Thanks for tuning in to They Are Watching Us. If this story got you thinking or made you wonder about how wild reality can be, then you definitely want to stick around for next time. Stay safe out there, my brothers and sisters. See you real soon. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. If you're as into UFOs and all that cool disclosure stuff as I am, do me a solid and hit that subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up and drop a comment below. It really helps me keep the good content coming your way on this super fascinating topic. Seriously, I appreciate it so much. Catch you later.
Right now, we are being colonized.